Hey guys, Janine the Machine here with part 2 of the study session video, and at the end there will be a little surprise, and you'll also find out how to see who gets the last 2 Stranger Things pieces. As you know, the first 2 winners were Morgan Robinson and Benjamin Kane, so at the end I'll tell you where to go to find out who gets the last 2. And also, like I said, a little surprise for you guys. So I got so many questions in the first study session that I split it into 2 parts. So I'm here to answer the last couple questions I got on my video. Thank you guys so much for asking me so many awesome movie trivia questions. Pretty sure all of these are from Jay Burns or Morgan Robinson. So thank you guys so much for sending me some great questions. Definitely helps me study. Definitely helps me think about movies that maybe I've never seen. So it's all helpful whether I know them or not. And of course, again, I didn't know very many, but it's all part of the process. So thank you guys so much. So to start off, question from Jay. What year did Spies Like Us come out? I just took a guess. I said 1989. The answer was 1985. It was directed by John Landis, stars Chevy Chase and Dan Aykroyd. And I'm pretty sure the love interest in that movie for Dan Aykroyd is actually his real life wife. So I don't remember if they met on that movie or they met before that and then they got married. But yeah, the love interest in that movie, I'm pretty sure is his real life wife. Next question, also from Jay. What year did the original Saw come out? I took another guess. I guessed 2006, and the answer was 2004. Of course, it was directed by James Wan, written by Leigh Whannell, who also was the other guy in the movie who wasn't Cary Elwes. And I haven't seen this movie in years, but I remember really liking it. I didn't really get into the whole series. All of it just kind of turned into just a bunch of torture porn for me, so I was like, no thanks. But I did really enjoy the first one. The twist was really surprising when I first saw it, and really enjoyable. I think I need to revisit it. It's been a really long time since I've seen it. But yeah, never really got into the whole series, but I really did enjoy the first one. Okay, next question, also from Jay Burns. Who says the line, "Frankly, my dear, I don't give a damn," in the 1939's classic Gone with the Wind? So I've actually never seen Gone with the Wind, but I know enough about it because it's just so iconic that it is Rhett Butler, who was played by Clark Gable. Just a classic line, and I always thought that was a really funny line. So I've seen that whole end scene where he just kind of says F you to Scarlett, but yeah, I've never actually seen that movie from beginning to end, but I know it was Rhett Butler played by Clark Gable. Like he says, the movie did come out in 1939, directed by Victor Fleming. It won 8 Oscars for Best Actress, Vivien Leigh, Best Supporting, Hattie McDaniel, which was a pretty big deal at the time, Best Director, Best Screenplay, Best Cinematography, Best Editing, and Art Direction. So it won a lot of awards. Definitely a big deal movie. So it's one of those things that where even if I haven't seen it, it's just so iconic that I do know things about it. So thank you for giving me a break and taking pity on me, Jay, and giving me an easy one. Also from Jay, next question, who plays Leonardo DiCaprio's partner in Shutter Island? Mark Ruffalo. This is also a movie with a great twist, another collaboration between Leo and Martin Scorsese, who directed the film. Let's see, it came out in 2010. Yeah, like I said, just another great twist. But who are your favorite collabs? Do you like Scorsese with De Niro? Do you think they've kind of birthed the best collaboration? Or his more recent collaboration with Leonardo DiCaprio? Have those birthed the movies that you like more? Because you notice that he does like to kind of work with the same people. And they've both done some great movies with him. So, question, what do you guys think? Anyway, next question. From Jay as well. What year did Honey, I Shrunk the Kids come out? It was off by a year. I said 1988. It was 1989. I remember seeing this movie in the theater. I remember that whole ride at Disneyland. Was it Disneyland or was it Universal that had that whole themed? I think it was Disneyland because this is a Disney movie. That had that whole themed Honey, I Shrunk the Kids land, and everything was all huge and you felt so tiny. I loved that so much as a kid. It was directed by Joe Johnston. And I remember having a huge crush on the older brother next door, Little Russ. I remember thinking he was so hot. Like, now I look at him now and I'm like, he wasn't that cute. But I remember having a huge crush on him. And of course, Rick Moranis. I remember hearing that Peyton Reed actually tried to get Rick Moranis to do a cameo in Ant-Man as his character from this movie because, you know, of the whole shrinking technology. So that would have been so cool. But of course, Rick Moranis is retired from acting. So that was kind of sad that that never happened. But that would have been really fun. Next question, also from Jay. Finish the quote from Blazing Saddles. Anybody got a dime? Somebody's got a ... So I only seen bits and pieces of Blazing Saddles. I've never seen the whole movie all the way through. And I don't know why that is. Like, I love Robin Hood Men in Tights. That's probably like my favorite Mel Brooks movie. But I just don't know. So it's definitely one I need to go back and revisit because everyone says it's great and it's really funny and the chemistry between the leads is really great. And Gene Wilder, of course, is great. So I don't know that actually I could say that Robin Hood Men in Tights is my favorite Mel Brooks movie because I think it's kind of probably the only Mel Brooks movie I've seen because I've never seen Young Frankenstein either. Don't kill me. But it's on my list of movies to see. But yeah, so definitely one I need to revisit. So Blazing Saddles, the line starts, anybody got a dime? The rest of the line is, somebody's gotta go back and get a shitload of dimes. So even that alone is just like, that's pretty funny. So definitely need to check out this movie. It was released in 1974, directed by Mel Brooks. Yeah, but I saw it once, bits and pieces, but I need to sit down and like watch it all the way through because everyone says it's so great and so funny and just kind of tackled a lot of like in your face issues at the time, very controversial. So definitely one to check out along with Young Frankenstein. I'm sorry, Mel Brooks. Another question from Jay. What Shakespeare play did The Lion King take its plot from? So I knew that one. It is Hamlet, which I've never really seen the play of Hamlet, but just, you know, over the years, you kind of just know things and learn things and hear things. And yeah, so it was based on Hamlet. But did you know that the direct-to-DVD sequel, Lion King 2, Simba's Pride, was based on Romeo and Juliet, which I actually really like that movie. The music's actually pretty good, and the voice works really good. Everybody comes back, and then you have Neve Campbell in there as Simba's daughter, and Jason Marsden. I love Jason Marsden's voice work. He's so great. So they have like a whole Romeo and Juliet romance going on. So that's a really good, great straight to DVD sequel. So if you've never seen Simba's Pride, I highly recommend checking it out if you're a huge fan of The Lion King. Some other things about The Lion King. It was released in 1994. And something I always think about with The Lion King is if Mufasa and Scar were the only males in the Pride, does that mean Nala and Simba are related? Because yeah, like, but I mean that's how it works in real prides, but you don't really think about that they like end up falling in love, but they're actually probably like cousins or like brother and sister or something. So yeah, just some food for thought. I don't know if anybody really ever thought about that. I did. And yeah, it's a little weird, but just have to kind of go with that's really how nature works. So just go with it. But anyway, and I don't know how to feel about this remake either. Like, how many more songs are they gonna make just for Beyonce? Because Nala only has one line of singing in the whole of Lion King, yet you have Beyonce, so you can't just waste that. So how many like 20 songs are they gonna add to this movie just so Beyonce can go off and do all her Beyonce things? Because Nala has that one line in Can You Feel the Love Tonight? And that's about it. So we'll see how that goes. I don't know. I mean, it's not really considered live action because it's still kind of animated, even though there's maybe a little bit of motion capture. I don't even know if they're gonna do motion capture on these people like walking around like lions. Like, so I don't know. I feel like it's kind of pointless. Like, I feel like it's gonna look really great, but I feel like it's kind of pointless. But we'll see. Let's see, anything else about this movie? Oh, and I always loved the James Earl Jones and Madge Sinclair coming back together as king and queen, because they were king and queen in Coming to America. So that's something that could come up in trivia. A lot of people don't know her name is Madge Sinclair, who played the queen in both Coming to America and Simba's mother. So I love that. And she did pass away, so very sad. But yes, I love that they're king and queen in this movie and in Coming to America. Voices of Timon and Pumbaa, of course, really easy. Nathan Lane and Ernie Sabella. People may not know Ernie Sabella, so that's something I like try to keep in my head because people may not remember that. Rowan Atkinson, of course, was Zazu, Mr. Bean, Shenzi Banzai. Somebody told me they like got a trivia question and they called into a radio show because they were asking what are the names of the three hyenas, Shenzi, Banzai, and Ed. Shenzi is Whoopi Goldberg, Banzai is Cheech Marin, and Ed is Jim Cummings, who was on Collider Live today, so that was kind of cool. Jim Cummings, he also voices Ray, the Firefly, from one of my favorite Disney movies, The Princess and the Frog, of course. So yeah, just a lot of fun things about The Lion King, because I really love that movie. I remember seeing it in the theater, and the music was so great, the animation was so great, the voice work was so great. So yeah, The Lion King. Thank you for that question to make me think about this movie that I really love. And now I think all the rest of the questions are from my friend Morgan Robinson. Thank you, Morgan, for all the questions. He asks me, what is the subtitle of the third film in the Nightmare on Elm Street franchise? So horror is not a strong suit for me unless it's like cheesy 90s teen horror. So I've literally recently just saw Nightmare on Elm Street for the first time, because when I tried to watch it, I think I was maybe like 9, and my sister was like 12 or 13, and she was watching it with her friend, and I wanted to be all cool and like stay up with them and watch it. And literally I watched like most of it, and then I got terrified and I could not eat pizza for like a week because it reminded me of his face. So I never revisited it since then, and then recently I finally watched the first one. So of course I didn't know this because I've only seen the first one. So the answer is Dream Warriors. It was released in 1987, directed by Chuck Russell. And I love that line in Scream where they're talking about the Nightmare on Elm Street movies, and she says, the first one was good, but the rest of them suck. So of course Wes Craven, who created this whole thing, he threw that line in there because he didn't direct the other two sequels. He only directed the first one. He didn't come back until New Nightmare, I believe. So for him to throw that in there, yeah, the first one was good, but the rest of them suck. And Scream just always made me laugh because he's kind of like, you know, throwing shade. So I really like that. Yeah. Oh, and New Nightmare, I believe, what came out in 1994? I'm not sure. But yes, thank you, Morgan. Another question from Morgan. Name the Pixar movie released in 2001 and the DreamWorks animated movie released in the same year. So, I know Shrek was released in 2001, so I knew that was the DreamWorks one, and then I had to think. I almost said Toy Story 2, but I think that was not that far away from Toy Story 1. So then I went with Monsters, Inc. as a guess, and it was right. Because I'm pretty sure Toy Story 2 came out like in 99. So I remember thinking the gap between 95 and 2001, that's too big of a gap between Toy Story 1 and Toy Story 2, but that was almost what I thought. But then I thought about it and I guessed Monsters, Inc. and that was right. Shrek, I love Shrek. It was a lot of fun when it came out. really funny take on everything, and it's just kind of funny. It came out of basically Jeffrey Katzenberg getting fired from Disney, and this was kind of like his revenge story towards them, like just kind of making fun of Disney. And I think Lord Farquaad is like a play on words for fuckwad, because and he's kind of supposed to look like Michael Eisner, because that's the guy from Disney who kind of he butted heads with. So yeah, this is basically a huge F you to Disney, because Jeffrey Katzenberg was very bitter about his time there, but I kind of heard he was kind of an asshole anyways, so he probably deserved it. But hey, he created DreamWorks and all these great movies and was a success, so good for him, I guess. But yeah, it's just kind of funny that Shrek, even though it was based on a book, he threw a lot of shady stuff in there to be like an F you to Disney, which is really funny. And I just love that it was more adult, and the jokes were more adult, and the humor was very grown up and funny, and it was a great movie. I really liked Shrek. And Monsters, Inc. is great too. A lot of fun. And I actually went on the ride because my friend Brandon didn't believe that there was a Monsters, Inc. ride. So we went on the Monsters, Inc. ride, and it was really fun. And I love all the fairy tale Easter eggs too in Shrek. It's really funny. And the All-Star song in the beginning was actually made for Minstrel Men, but people don't remember that. They just kind of think it was for Shrek now. So, hey, Smash Mouth is collecting the money on both of those. So, hey, more power to them. But anyway, I'm rambling again. I'm sorry. Forgive me. Next question from Morgan. In Reanimator, what is the title character's first and last name? I actually watched this for the first time last night because I'm trying to watch a horror or like Halloween kind of movie every day this month, because I love this time of year. I love Halloween season. I love spooky stuff and dressing up and all this. As you can see, I'm kind of rocking a Scott Pilgrim outfit with my Harley Quinn glasses. So yeah, so I've been trying to watch a scary movie every day this month, and last night was Reanimator, and it was actually really fun and ridiculous. Had a lot of fun with it. But to answer the question, of course, I didn't know it at the time, so I had to look it up. The answer was Herbert West, which he was such a creepy, weird character. So just a lot of fun with that movie. Thank you, Morgan. It came out in 1985. I was 1 year old. And it was directed by Stuart Gordon. Next question from Morgan. Janet Leigh plays a small role in which Carpenter film? So I had no idea. So in doing my little research, I found out it was The Fog. It was released in 1980. Definitely one I need to watch, so maybe I will make that my Halloween Day movie, like my last movie that I watched this month, because I kind of want to visit Vampire in Brooklyn as my day 30 movie, so we'll see. But yeah, I think I maybe might make The Fog my last movie this month, so we'll see. And how does this compare to the 2005 remake? Like, I'm guessing it's probably not as good, but I've never seen either. So what do you guys think? But Janet Leigh, I love that she's in the movie with her daughter. I loved her cameo in Halloween H2O. Like, she's her annoying like secretary, and she kind of just like blows her off, and then she kind of gives her this nice speech about, I worry about you and I just want you to be okay, and then she walks away to her car, the same Marion Crane car from Psycho, and you hear a little bit of the score. Like, that was so fun. Like, so much fun. I love my 90s, early 2000s teen horror, because like it does fun stuff like that. Kevin Williamson, writer of Dawson's Creek and all the Scream movies, and I Know What You Did Last Summer, like just holds a special place in my heart. Anyway, rambling again, sorry. Next question, also from Morgan. In Superman 1978, what is the cause of Jonathan Kent's death? I believed it was a heart attack, and I was right, yes. He's having this whole speech with his son, who has that weird, like, bad fake nose and the weird, terrible dark wig. Like, why couldn't you just find a guy who was younger, who looked kind of like Christopher Reeve? I don't know why you had to, like, put all this stuff on this guy, because it's just very distracting. And then he eventually, like, breaks down in a heart attack. Very sad. But, which Jonathan Kent death do you prefer, that or no, let me blow away in this hurricane? Which one is better? I don't know. Anyway, that movie was released in, of course it says 1978. Directed by Richard Donner. And yeah, that's the basics. So next question, who plays Sam Loomis in Halloween 1978, and which James Bond villain did he play? Oh, you're trying to stump me, Morgan? The answer is Donald Pleasence, and he played Blofeld in the Bond series. Donald Pleasence, let's see, he played Blofeld in You Only Live Twice, came out in 1976. Yeah, and his character in Halloween, Sam Loomis, is named for a character from Psycho. And I think Scream kind of did the same thing with Billy Loomis, and took that name from his character as an homage to all of that. Yeah, so Billy Loomis, Sam Loomis, and Psycho. And also there's a line in Scream that also kind of plays off of Halloween as well. At the beginning, the husband tells Drew Barrymore's mom, drive down to the Mackenzies. And that's what Laurie tells the two kids, walk down to the Mackenzies for help or whatever. So I think that's a little nod to all of that. Just nods within nods within nods. So very good question, Morgan. I like the double compounded question trying to trip me up, but I knew it. So I'm a dork. It's okay. Anyway, next question. In Hammer Studios' version of The Hound of the Baskervilles, who plays Sherlock Holmes? Okay, now you did stump me. Of course, I don't know this at all. And I believe the answer is Peter Cushing, which I had no idea that he ever played Sherlock Holmes. So that was kind of cool to find out. That movie was released in 1959. Directed by Terrence Fisher, and it also starred Christopher Lee. So maybe I might have to check that out. I am trying to watch some more old movies, thanks to you, Morgan. So is this one I should check out? And another question, who directed It's a Wonderful Life? I watched this for the first time last Christmas in the theater, and it was so nice, and I think I kind of want to keep that up. So hopefully they'd show it every year. I think they showed it like 2 years in a row at the theater. So, but I caught it last year for the first time, and that was really cool. So I think if they do that every year in the theater, I might just go check it out, because that was really nice and I really enjoyed it. So of course, because I had seen it and this movie's so iconic, I knew that the director was Frank Capra. It came out in 1946, starred Jimmy Stewart and Donna Reed. Something I had noticed before I had seen this movie was there's this cheesy teen romantic comedy called Whatever It Takes. And the school that they're at, the pool is underneath the floor. So when the floor opens up, there's a pool underneath. And somebody plays a prank at the prom where it's actually Aaron Paul. That was his first movie. He plays a prank where he opens up the pool during the prom and everybody falls in. And I'm like, that is so crazy. And then I watched this movie and I saw the same thing happens. And it turns out that is the same school, the same gym in LA. So yeah, that was kind of a fun little thing I noticed from a cheesy movie from the 90s to this old classic movie. It's the same school, the same prank. So I thought that was kind of funny. And the last question, which former football / soccer player made his acting debut in Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels and went on to play a soccer coach in She's the Man. Morgan is British, so that's why he abbreviates the soccer in there for us Americans. I knew the answer was Vinnie Jones. I think the first time I saw Vinnie Jones actually was in, Euro Trip. He actually plays a very intense Manchester fan. So I thought that was pretty funny. And then, of course, he played Juggernaut in X3, The Last Stand, and said that terrible line of the Juggernaut, bitch. So bad. So bad. But other than that, Vinnie Jones, I like him. And yes, I knew the answer. So thank you for throwing me a bone. I think the She's the Man part kind of helped me answer that a little bit. But yeah, Vinnie Jones. So those are all the questions. Sorry if I rambled a little bit too much, but I just get excited talking about movies. And yeah, I hope you guys had fun with this study session. I will probably do one soon again, in a couple months, because I got so many questions. So thank you guys so much. And thank you for being a part of the giveaway. So if you want to find out who got the last 2 Stranger Things pieces, head to my Twitter at Janine DaBean. That's my name, Janine, D-A Bean on Twitter. And you can also go to my Instagram at G9 Design, letter G, number 9 Design on Instagram to find out who the last 2 winners are. But I also have a special surprise for you guys. This is going to be something open to everybody, anybody. You don't have to be a patron. But I just love this time of year and I just want to give back to you guys something fun. So I will be giving away this piece, this Shaun of the Dead You've Got Red on You framed piece, or this ice cream, we all scream for ice cream design. Yeah, so all you have to do is leave a comment on this video and you will be entered to win one of these designs. So it's open to anybody. All you have to do is leave a comment and there will be 2 winners for each of the pieces. So yeah, anyway, I hope you guys had fun with this video. I just love this time of year. This was really fun. I got some great questions. Thank you guys so much for everything. Really, you just supporting me just helps me get to the Schmoedown, helps me get there to compete, helps me to keep creating my art. And it just means a lot to me. This has been really fun. Hopefully I can do more stuff like this for you guys. And thank you for watching and thanks for everything. Bye.